Universe, what's going on? As you can see, I'm making the video at nighttime. I'm dropping part two, coming live from the universe, baby. I am the light, so as you can see, the light will always stay on. The light will always stay on. Let's go. Let's get it. All right. So in part one about me getting shot in the head, I think we last picked off on the part where I was at the hospital and they was monitoring my heart rate on the screen. And when my heart rate would be low, they would be celebrating. They would be talking about getting their hair and nails done, going out to eat. But then when my heart rate was good, they was talking about they were just basically mad. Like Decepticons was mad. They would be pounding. They would be walking around trying to figure out what their next move's gonna be. All of this stuff. So I'm at the hospital. Let's get it. I'm at the hospital. My heart rate it'll go up and down. When they was putting them, when they was sticking stuff in the IVs and giving me medicine, my heart rate would be really low, and it would be, almost like I'm about to die. And they will be, like I said, celebrate. They will be celebrating, doing all kind of stuff, celebrating, happy, and jumping up in joy and stuff like that. Then when my heart rate would be good, they would be quiet and they would be sad. So let's get into this part right here. It got to the point where I would ask them, what are you giving me? Are you giving me something that's trying to slow my heart rate and kill me? What are you doing? No, we're not trying to do that. We're not trying to do that. We're just trying to help and all this. I'm like, you trying to help, but the stuff that you giving me is slowing down my heart rate. Like, it's not helping me at all. If anything, just you doping me up just to. I felt like they were trying to kill me because I have a gift of discernment and an anointing. So my discernment was telling me very much so that they were trying to kill me. These are Decepticons and monitoring spirits. But I had this one nurse in there. It was a guy. He was very much so like on God's side. Like you would hear him say stuff like, when my heart rate was beating good, you would hear him say God is good and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And he was just basically praising the Lord like he couldn't believe it. And actually, when I was up in the hospital, I told them that I was Jesus. I told them. I sat up there and told them that I was Jesus. They looked at me, Decepticons. They looked at me like I was crazy, like I didn't know what I was talking about. They were just like basically hee hee ha ha. But you know how the universe works. When I speak something into existence, it happens for me. Divine powers. So they was in there laughing. I let them get their little laughs off and stuff like that. So when I started speaking stuff into existence, I would be like, it's hot in here. It's hot. Cut the air on. They kept on constantly making me wait. Stuff like that. I was speaking into existence. And then all of a sudden, the air come on, and tell them I was hungry. They act like they didn't want to feed me and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, when I spoke into existence, I'll get the food. Stuff, just speaking stuff into existence. So I'm in the hospital. I think I was in there for like 2 days. I didn't have any privacy. I was butt naked and stuff like that. Had to pee out of this little cup and whatnot. Had to pee out of this little cup in front of everybody, which is all good. I felt like they actually knew who I was spiritually. They was just thinking that they was in control, like they had more power than God. That's how they was acting. You know what I'm saying? So let them think that. Let them think that because at the end of the day, God got the power. God got the power. At the end of the day, I don't care. So I'm in this hospital and stuff like that for 2 days. And this lady comes up to me and she's asking me all kind of questions, about what happened, how did you get shot in the head, but she came to me saying that I didn't get shot in the head. I'm like, hold on now. As we all know, I got shot in the head. I got shot in the head. As I know this for a fact. I had witnesses and everything that was there on the scene. But people gonna tell lies. They're gonna tell lies because to say that barbershop or do whatever it takes. So she told me that I banged my head on the window. So I'm like, banging my head on the window. Like, where is this coming from? Like, who said this? Who set me up for this lie? Like, I didn't understand it because I wouldn't like. Why would somebody lie? Like when my life is on the line, why would somebody lie? That means that they don't give a fuck about me. You know, excuse my French, but they just had the way I gotta put it. So let them tell it. I banged my head on the window. I told her that I did not. I had got shot in the head. I told her this. Um, she was like, "Well, okay." She'll leave, then come back. Somebody else will come back and ask me the same thing. They acting like I was lying, like my story was gonna switch up, and I'm just like, how can my story switch up when it's the truth, nothing but the truth? So God help me. Um, so make a long story short, they decided that they wanted to put me in a mental institution. Yes, folks. They decided they wanted to put me in a mental institution. They told me that I would be there for a couple days. Um, Not no more than a couple days. The latest 72 hours. 72 hours end up being 2 weeks in this mental institution. So at first I was not gonna go because I'm not crazy. Remember when I told y'all in my last videos that when you start to awaken out of the matrix and you start to see stuff for what it really is, that people will try to do this to you. They would try to put you in a mental institution. They would try to put you on medications. They would try to do all kind of stuff or whatever to try to put you back in the matrix. But it didn't work on me. It can't work on Jesus. No, it cannot work on me. So I agreed, you know what I'm saying? I agreed to go to the mental institution or whatever. And as I went, you know, they had me transported there in another ambulance. So as I'm here at this mental institution, um, they doing the intake information. I'm talking and stuff like that, giving my information and things of that nature. Uh, at this point, I hadn't said anything about who I am spiritually. You know, I'm just going along with the flow. So they get my information and stuff like that. Uh, they stripped me down butt naked again. I was in some scrubs. They put me in some new scrubs. Um, Wearing these scrubs and stuff like that. Then they sent me to my room. And in this room, I was in there with this guy named Makai. You know, it's a young guy. I was in there with him, and I thought the guy was crazy at first because, I know people thinking that I'm crazy because I'm saying that I'm Jesus, which is true. It is very much so true. This is what God has revealed to me. God told me, I sit down and talk to God a lot. Like I sit down and talk to God a lot. I really do. And you could believe it or not. You better go pray to him and ask him who I am spiritually. Um, I'm sitting in here and this guy, I'm in a room with somebody that's actually talking to themselves. So, they're talking to themselves and stuff like that. And I'm thinking that the guy, a schizophrenic, he might be crazy, but he wasn't crazy at all. I'm going to tell you how I flipped a lot of things around. When I came into this mental institution, it started off really bad. It was fights every day. It was like 2 to 3 fights every day. I'm in there with a lot of people that got HIV. I'm in there with a lot of sick mentally people. Like, don't believe in God. These people are very demonic. They are very much so stuck in the matrix. They was like paying attention to everything but God, in this mental institution. So when I came in there, it kind of like I kind of turned things around. You get what I'm saying? This is with staff and it's with mental patients. Um, I'm gonna get into it in my next video, but this is right here. This part two. You know, so we just going from the hospital to the mental institution. Now we in the institution now. So I go in there. I'm already knowing. I'm like, why am I here? I need to be doing my podcast. I need to be talking to the world like I usually do. But then I looked at it, on the positive side. I'm like, well, maybe this right here is a vacation. I'm looking at it like a vacation and stuff like that. So I'm like, maybe I just need to take this vacation and take the time out to, be on my purpose, because not all of my purpose is involved in, video and podcasts. I actually got to go out here and put in the work. I actually got to go out here and put in the work. And this is exactly what I did. God told me that, hey, man, we're going to turn these non-believers into believers. I need you, son. I told him, I said, yes. First, I was a little bit nervous, but then I had told him, yes, I will very much so get on board. I'm very much so, I'm awakened spiritually. I know who I am now. I know what I need to do. I am the modern day Jesus. Uh, it was crazy, man. It's been a long journey. It's still going, but I'm here in the midst of institution, right? So I'm sitting in the room, you know what I'm saying? I'm listening to this guy talk to himself and stuff like that, and I'm just like, he just probably need help. Whole time, he wasn't even crazy at all. We in the spiritual warfare, so you got this so-called thing that's called your ego that a lot of people are not aware of, and your ego is basically like the devil talking to you. You get what I'm saying? Your ego is like the devil talking to you. So you're stuck in your ego. You listening to all of the thoughts, like the mark of the beast and stuff like that. You listening to all of those thoughts, the evil thoughts, and to do this and do this, and to say this and say that. Is the devil. But when you listening to them good thoughts that's in your head, it's basically like your angel. It's God trying to talk to you as well. But we must remember that God always have the last say so. He always got the last say so. So when he talking to you in your head, he can override the devil thoughts. That's what we fail to realize. We always thinking that, oh well, man, life's so hard, and we listen to this music, and this music got all this witchcraft in it and stuff like that, and we're just like, oh, this is what life is really about. This everybody glorifying the devil, but God set it up to be that way because God, like, y'all really think that the devil got more power than me. Y'all really think that. You get what I'm saying? So this all I got in this video, but I'm gonna keep on going and giving y'all the real spiel in part 3 of what was going on in this mental institution. What was going on, how I turned everything around with the staff, and made people start believing in God more. I turned something